Hi everyone, Oscar here. Um, in this video I want to tell you about the Olympics that happened in Paris. It was a very nice time and I want to tell you whether it was worth it or not when we were there. And also it's been a while because I had my race in 1 week and sadly I've had some shortcomings with my disease that I will tell you about later. So I'll try to still do the race, but you will see that next week. Now let's talk about Paris and the beautiful Olympics from Champagne.
I think the season is over, but there is still some grapes left behind. I think those one is not good enough for preparing champagne. Good for Oscar, because he likes to eat grapes.
Yeah. It's very sweet and very small. That's what she said. No, actually.
Don't do so.
So, I want to tell you more about this video, which was basically the Olympics in Paris. It happened this summer. And for some reason, I began to be super addicted to it. And I decided to buy, only for the beginning, for 2 events for this stuff. And I ended up going to 6 or 7. Because the environment was very nice, very full of people and joy. And also went with friends, went with people from work, and I went even alone. And it was like a full party of everything. Okay. So the first event that I went to was a football match of women's between the United States and Japan. And it was a quarterfinal game between both of these teams, which I think was one of the most attractive games of the whole tournament. And it was very good to be there because I saw the supporters from the US and Japan, and they were actually going with their, there were Japanese people saying "Ike" and stuff, so it was very nice. Sadly, in the end, Japan lost 1-0 in extra time. And I mean, I wish I had them seen through, but I always like the underdog story. So anyway, it's a very good game, and let's see what happens in the next events. Up next, I went to see a tennis match with my colleague, that I played tennis with. And it was for Iga Swiatek, #1 of the world, and she was playing the Chinese 49 in the world. It was the Roland Garros, which it's like the second time I go to. Every time I go, it's amazing. You have very good atmosphere, and in any place you are, you have a very good look at the match. And this time, even though in paper it seems simple, the Chinese player played really well, and she really tried to push Iga until the end. Mm-hmm. But somehow, the things go to where they have to be, and that's how Iga won again. Hola, Miguel. So the Olympic fever has started on me, and that's why I began to buy so many tickets. And this means we decided to go to the boxing with my friend that likes to food. I call him Chefcito. And we went to support Mexican boxer Marco Verde, who, if you look at this image, he is so strong. I think that he could kick me once and I would fall. Hit me once and I will probably fall. God. He won up against Thiago Mukanga from Mozambique. This is one of the few sports where I know Mexican is good. In the first round, he showed why. He began to beat this guy, and it was a perfect round win for this in the first round. But something happened. It looks like Mukanga was waiting to see what the boxer was like, and then he began to hit back on the second or third round, which made it really hard for the referees to call the game. And
the winner on points by split decision. Victorieux au point par décision partagée. In blue from
in the end, it was a split decision, and still the Mexican won. So again, paper beats competition. After these marvelous events, I went again with a work colleague to see women's volleyball. This time it's going to be a group match between China and Serbia. And honestly, we have a big relation of Chinese in Paris, especially around the place where the match was being held. And it was not surprising to see so many going to support Chinese team. And which led me to support Serbia, because again, I like to do the underdog thing and hope that the one that is less supported wins. And somehow, again, theory, Serbia began winning. They won the first set. And then China just came back, and by a very, very small margin, they won 3 sets in a row. But really, very small margin. And this is how China won again. And I mean, I was sad because I like Serbian women. And for the next one, guess which one was the birthday gift for Masha? She likes to do climbing, and every time we go together, and I see her also following up the events, especially of this girl called Ai Mori. She's a Japanese girl that's really, really small, and she is very good in lead, but her height always impairs her, so she also likes the underdog story. And I decided that it was a good idea to buy her with the best tickets I could find for climbing, as they were the second time featured in the Olympics. And this is how we came to come and see all of these people go, and we saw the French local trying to do her best with the supporters screaming like "Allez, allez, allez." And then we saw the first place, Yanya Gamba. And she was doing like beating everyone up and saying like, I'm the best, why do you even care? And it was like so good to see her. And then we also saw the finals for the speed stuff, which is the same route, but you had to try to make it as fast as possible. That's what she didn't say.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
And in the end, we saw how a guy did very quick 100 meters in like less than 5 seconds. Again, That's what she said.
It's not 100 meter.
And yeah, I know. No. And it was Indonesian guy that won this time. And I think it was a bit of a surprise because he beat Chinese and favorite US guy, American guy. And so, I mean, personally, I felt it was very nice to see the supporters, and I hope the match enjoyed it.
I enjoyed, but I was a bit sad for the American guy. He's beat the world record twice, and he didn't win a gold, only a bronze medal.
Because he did it in the fight for the bronze medal.
Yeah,
In the match.
and in health semifinals as well. But
Yeah. And last but not least, the water polo finals. I still had my fever and I knew the games were gonna end. And I found a ticket for like 15 euro, I think, or even maybe 25. And it was a final. So I was thinking, why not? So I came here and I went to see the match between Holland or the Netherlands and the US. And it was a match that the US has the best goalkeeper in the world, which is like this big 6 foot, maybe 3 inches woman. And her arms, they touch like from one side to the other of the football goal. Yeah.
water polo gates.
Yeah. It seems unfair at the beginning because she was just stopping everything. And the game was like 10-6. And somehow Holland came to 10-10.
Yeah.
And then everyone was so excited, and I think it was the dynamic of the match. And they managed to win in the last 10-20 seconds. And it was one of the best underdog stories that I found. And I finally found it on the last match, in the last event that I did. If you like sports, great atmosphere, and you want to have memories you will never forget, this is an event you have to go to. So if it ever happens to be around you, or you really want to go, I'm telling you only as a fan, like just a fan that the event came locally and I have no idea about the Olympics. You need to go. It's really cool. It's really cool. You see all the people from all over the world, and you see competitions and underdog stories. Honestly, I think this is 10 out of 10 event. And shout out to the volunteers that made it even better. They were smiling. Each people were smiling and giving you like the directions very nicely. It was like so different from Paris. Thank you.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's been. Still need to